What's going on, everybody? Crazy Monkey Crypto here. Thank you for clicking on the video or visiting the channel. If you're new here, please consider hitting the subscribe and the like button, or leave a comment if you find today's video interesting. We are going to be going over September crypto mining profits, and they're a little bit better than August, but still not looking too hot. But I think there's some important things that I want to touch on that I think could be really important thinking about going forward. So just for reference, today is September 22nd in the afternoon. So the price of Bitcoin right now is at about 63,586. It was, about an hour and 45 minutes ago down at 62, down almost $1,000. And then it had a big run up here. So never going to complain about that, but just for reference. Now, we have our GPUs. So we'll look at that first. So first, say we have 15 cents per kilowatt hour. What are we looking at? So 4090, it is saying Aleo is going to be about 75 cents profit. Now, it's not great, but it's better than what it has been. I remember when this was, 20, 30 cents profit, mining different coins. We look through, it drops off pretty quick once you get under the 4090 or the 170HX. But, I think, and this is still at 15 cents per kilowatt hour, so I think the real saving grace here is going to be coins that will just kind of either make a change or they have a big, push through, and so they start driving more revenue. So, for example, Aleo really was nothing in terms of profit until a week or so ago. And so if we can, get some profit there, and then say Zealous comes out with something new, and then we get a little bit of profit there, and we had blocks come over from asics to GPU mining. So if that has a little run up, we get some profit there. Carlson and Piran Hash both, or Piran just released new things, which, is more potential profit opportunity for GPUs. Clore has been really solid. There's so many projects for GPUs between Kapow, ProgPow, EdHash, Piran Hash, Carlson Hash, all these different Zel Hash, that if we can just start stringing together like a series where we can have Zel do pretty good, and we can have Clore do pretty good, and we can have Abelian do pretty good, and we can have, name your coin, Piran do pretty good, and blocks do pretty good, where I think that this profit could start getting up into, these cards they're looking at about break even, the 4070 Super, 3060 Ti, 3080 12 gig, the 1660 Ti, that's insane that's competing on the same level as 3000 and 4000 series cards. But if we can start stringing together some really good months, which I think we might start having given the bull run, not financial advice, but I think it probably will be starting sometime the end of this year. I think we could definitely start see profits come back at least a little bit. I do know there's probably still a ton of hardware sitting on the side, and some people probably have written GPU mining off. It's, there's definitely a reason for that. It has not been great. But I do think there is still a chance that we could still see some decent profits into the bull run. So let's now go over to CPUs. Now, Veriscoin, I believe it's had like a 40% pump over the last, 2 weeks. So it is leading most of the charts here for CPUs. But you can see even CPUs is really not that great. I believe this is the best CPU out there. $1.84 revenue, $1.03 profit. It's saying at 9,000 day ROI. What's it for GPUs? 2,000. For the top GPU. So overall, it's just not been looking very good at all. But I think there is still, again, room for optimism, because when the bull run comes around and a lot of these coins start kind of popping off, I don't do much with CPU mining. I have one rig. I just set it and forget it. But if you can get Veriscoin popping off, XMR, Monero popping off, you can get Zeph popping off. Oh, I didn't even know you can mine Zealous on CPUs. Yeah, you could start having some decent profits here. Again, and CPUs are less power hungry. So just something to think about. But again, I think there's opportunity here, and I think that's kind of the big theme of the video. There's a lot of opportunity. It's just whether or not we will actually see that opportunity realized, or if it will basically these projects will just kind of get smothered. So let's jump on over to ASICs, and I have it at about 8 cents per kilowatt hour. It seems like you can get hosting for 8, maybe 9 cents per kilowatt hour pretty consistently. So of course we have our AL1 and AL1 Pros. Obviously dominating, being kind of the newest miner that has been released. We also have the AL3 that's going to be coming out shortly, which is slightly less efficient than Bitmain's, but I think this is a lot cheaper. The AL3 is. You have, of course, the very interesting Dragon Ball miner A11, the entity miner that they wanted to sell for, I think it was like 11 grand. That's iffy. We'll see if people actually make out on that. The KS5 Pro, so if you watched my video on the KRC20 mining, you can see the profits on this. This was even close. This was over $100 a day for that, and you can see we've kind of come back down to earth. And of course the L9, the newest gen ant miner, script miners, you can see still doing really solid, $16 a day. Let's check it. I think this is the highest. Okay, I don't even know what this is, but that's not released yet. For Bitcoin, that's not released yet either. What the heck? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I guess this is the most recent Bitcoin miner that's actually was released, and it was January 2024. Okay. You see that's only $5 a day. That's less than the L7, and I guarantee you this S21 Hydro, look how much power it takes, 5,300 watts. If I'm doing my math right, I mean, that's basically an entire 240 volt 30 amp circuit for $5 a day after electricity. Where the L7, I don't know, you probably can find these at like $1,500 maybe used, and they're still making $565 a day. So something to be aware of. I don't think Bitcoin miners will be the most lucrative miners, but they might be some of the most steady income miners. And then, yeah, we just get down into a slew of slightly older miners. It's kind of crazy to see the S21 already down at $2.46 a day. But yeah, well, no, the other thing. Oh, okay. So this AL0, this is crazy because when these were shipping, and right where they're starting to get delivered, we were in like the $7 range, and it has very, very quickly dropped off into $1.50-ish per day profit. This will be interesting because if Alephium doesn't get the same price action that's a Kaspa got, then these will turn into bricks really fast. And so especially with some of these other ones like these gold shell miners, this AL Box 2 Pro and AL Box 2 Plus and AL Box 2, and they have the original AL Box, which is at about $1 a day. So that'll be really interesting to track, to see how those actually do. If Alephium can have a pump, or if it's just going to kind of be sell pressure every day and the price is just going to kind of keep going down and down. So, okay, guys, those are kind of our big buckets of miners: GPU, CPU, and ASICs. ASICs obviously still looking the best right now. GPU's probably still looking the worst, but I think there's reason for optimism heading into I guess we're in the last quarter of the year. Yeah, starting in October, it'll be the last quarter of the year. I personally think, not financial advice, I think Bitcoin will start to go on a steady uptrend, and I think we will be entering a full-fledged bull run. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Again, if you did like the video, you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. It's free to you. Hit the like button. It's also free. Leave a comment down below what you guys are mining with, if you guys are optimistic about the future of mining, or if you are pretty pessimistic about the future of mining. So peace out, guys. Smashing blocks.